All right. 3, 2, 1. All right. All right. Welcome. Oh, I forgot. Welcome back. We're here again, and today, what are we going to talk about?
So generation.
Oh,
stuff.
back to generations.
Yep.
Our other video about generations had the most views.
No.
I think it has like 700.
700?
Yeah. So these generational videos, they rack in some views.
Dang.
So, why did we even think about this topic? How did it even come about?
Wait, are we doing an intro?
Intro?
Welcome back to Kozy Talks.
Yep.
You know who we are.
Yep.
Just keep going.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so the topic is generations?
Yeah.
Generational?
And specifically, this upcoming generation.
Okay, well, we left off on... You asked a question on the last episode that's not released yet, but you said, like, should children receive participation trophies? Like, that was one question you asked at the end.
So do you think they should?
Start off with that.
You can start with the answer.
No, I don't think kids should get participation trophies. Unless they're like super young, but like if it's like elementary school and up, it's kind of like I don't think it's good.
Why not?
I
Why
mean,
don't
the
you think
pros
kids should
is
get
like
awards?
it like keeps them like it doesn't let them feel like they're left out, you know? And I don't know. I don't think the kids would like try as much if they know they're gonna receive a reward anyways. Unless the reward is like substantially like there's a huge difference between it. But yeah, I think it just
You don't think like
it doesn't push them hard enough if they all receive a reward and only like the top 3 get like
but then
better rewards.
Let's say like they didn't know they're getting an award. But let's say like 2 kids got an actual award. Okay? Like, oh, these 2 kids were outstanding. And then let's say like a week passed and like some of the kids like were sad they didn't get it.
Yeah.
So at like the next like I don't know like club meeting or like team meeting or something, the coach comes back and says, "Oh, actually, you know what, guys? Everyone's gonna get an award.
Nah.
Like you guys all get participation. Blah 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 blah." What do you think about that?
I'm not about that. Or that's cool enough, but I just think, that just makes the kids soft. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's like, I think the big thing what Eric was talking about is like there has to be an incentive. You know what I'm saying? There has to be an incentive, and you could talk about economy about that too. You know what I'm saying? I'm no mathematician. I'm no economist or anything, but there has to be an incentive. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
There has to be an incentive, and like if like what Eric was saying is like if there's no incentive, then the kids won't work hard. You know what I'm saying? I could just do whatever, and I'm gonna get a reward. I'm gonna get this regardless. If I'm doing nothing. While Jerry, who's actually working his butt off,
Jerry.
you know what I'm saying? He's actually doing, like going beyond, and he actually deserves that award.
Yeah.
Then he could be like, oh, now he's gonna be like, oh,
he gets devalued.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so he's gonna be like, yo, if we're all gonna win, I don't need to work as hard anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then so that leads into a process of like a whole cycle of like
the standards
it
just
just goes lower and it's just
Yeah.
and then that just brings people not to be innovative and all that, and that's like a huge debate in economics to be honest.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, another context too, because I know we're questioning about what are the generations, right? Let me read it out. Here we go. So we have about 7 generations to choose from, right?
Okay.
So there's the greatest generation. This is just for context.
Yeah.
I'm a context kind of guy. Okay, 1901.
We're going far back.
We're going far back.
We're going far back.
To 1927 is the greatest generation, and then from 1928.
They're called the greatest generation.
The greatest generation.
greatest?
I don't know why.
What happened in 1901 to 1920?
That was like World War.
Great
World
Depression.
War One.
Oh, World War One.
Yeah, but that's the 1920s. The Roaring
The
20s.
Roaring 20s.
Yeah.
Flappers.
Great
Yeah.
Gatsby.
Yep.
And then the silent generation was 1928 to 1945, which was
that
like
was Great
Great
Depression.
Depression.
Great Depression, whatever, and like all
Yeah.
that. And then the baby boomers, that's just 1946 to 64. So that's like the Cold War, the Cold War and all
1946,
that, and all that.
Okay.
So after the World War II and stuff, Generation X is 1965 to 1980s.
So
our
after baby
parents-
boomers is Gen X.
Yeah, Gen X.
Our
So I was
parents.
wrong before.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So our parents are considered Gen X.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then it's millennials, 1981 to 1995.
Okay.
Which is interesting. I of course, like, there's no like hard cap.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're Gen Y.
No, millennials are
Millennials.
Gen Y.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
you would be
So
considered
you're-
Gen X then with us.
No, that's Gen
No,
Z.
we're
Gen
Gen
Z,
Z.
Gen Z.
Technically, year-wise.
Yeah, year wise.
Yeah.
But I
But,
feel
like,
like
what do you
culture wise.
Yeah,
identify-
I think I identify as I think I associate myself under the millennials, which is
Yeah,
Gen
yeah,
Y.
yeah.
Okay.
Because I feel like I still got that. I
Yeah.
got like a mix of both. To be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah,
Yeah.
We're definitely towards like the transitioning years.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
those,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Gen Zs are 1996 to 2010.
2010.
2010. And then Gen Alpha is 2011.
Alpha.
Yeah. 2011 to 25.
So we're in the generation of Alpha.
Yeah, we're in Gen Alpha right now.
Gen
And then
I've
next
never
one's,
heard that.
I think it's going to be Gen
Omega.
Beta.
Yeah.
Omega, Theta.
Any of
Oh,
those.
Gen Alpha.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So now it's, again, going back to the generation. Honestly, I think nowadays it's all about like, dude, you know, like, not to offend anyone, but I just think some people are just getting a little softer.
That's facts.
You know, not the. Of course, you
Yeah.
know, every generation got their own thing. You know, our generation, like, we're soft too in our own ways, and then all the older generation, we could be like, dude, all y'all are soft. All you guys are kids. You know, all you guys are like nothing. You know, I went through the Great Depression. I went through all that.
Yeah.
But, like,
I went to the TikTokers.
Yeah.
What's up, Grandpa? Like,
I know.
same thing.
So.
Not same thing, but you know. TikTok and Great Depression are two very different things.
But yeah, I don't know. That's just my thought. What do you think? What do you think, though?
Honestly, or the main reason why I kind of like thought about like the future generation was because you know I work at a lot of like hagwons, like after school tutor places.
Yeah.
Man, there are some kids, bro. I worry. Like, I like fear enters me.
Dude,
Like,
go ahead.
Like genuine fear enters my heart for like this planet that we're gonna be
Whoa.
that we're gonna live on.
Environmental.
Yeah, like some of these like elementary school kids, they're bots, bro. Like they're actually like the way they think, the way they process, and like the way they handle like homework or how they think, and like one they don't think, for which is one is one part of it, and others like they just think so weirdly that I don't know how they get to like certain like. They change the way they do math and like
really?
like, every year like just with-
No more PEMDAS.
Common Core.
yeah, bro, they be using like butterfly methods and like, and, like some weird stuff. Like, don't change things that don't need to be changed. And like some of these kids, like they get more confused every year because things are getting changed. But at the same time, like like you mentioned, like everything's so people are getting softer these days. They're so sensitive, and obviously, like if the kids grow up in like a climate and an age where everything is pretty sensitive and soft, like that's who they're gonna like be like.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I don't want to be like one of those old heads who says like, "Oh, you're so soft," because like, what can they do about it?
Yeah.
Like, that's just how they grow up. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing like I don't want to like criticize them. But what I'm trying to say is like sometimes like there's levels to, like how soft you can be.
Right, for
and,
sure.
like how you process things. And these kids, bro, they in like 4th, 5th grade blows my mind. Like they don't know the most simplest things, but they know like
Everything
else.
Dude, that's crazy. I was about
The
to
weirdest
say
stuff.
I was about to say, like, I feel like the kids now are smart.
Yeah,
They're
but it's
so-
like
It's like
you know what I mean? It's
street
different smart.
Different smart.
Yeah, they're more
Different
because they're so
smart.
exposed.
Yeah.
to so many things.
Yo, let me give you an example.
What's
I
up?
remember back when I took the SAT, ACT, like there's no cheating involved. It was hard to cheat.
Yeah.
Not to say I cheated or anything. I didn't. I promise.
You cheat
I know.
on the
Well,
SAT?
well,
Wait, what's the college board? Yeah.
No, but the thing is, when I was there's some high school kids I talked to, and then they're like, so this was a couple years ago, and then they're like, dude, everyone cheats during SAT.
Wow. How do you cheat?
I'm like, what?
Dude,
What's
there's like a million rules.
I know. It's like I'm like, dude. I was thinking this. I'm like, dude, how do you like? What's the process?
I thought that was the one thing that you couldn't.
I know exactly.
Like, that's lockdown test.
They're like, dude, no, you could sit. You could specifically sit in a way where you and your friends are diagonal from each other. And there's like a seating arrangement. Like, yo, I'm gonna sit here, you sit here. There's a planning involved.
Oh my
But you
God.
know what's crazy? There's another thing where College Board or whatever who runs SAT. So every time they take the SAT throughout the whole nation, it's all on the same day.
At the same time too.
Yeah, but the thing is, what's interesting is that but in New York it's three hours ahead. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But their lunchtime is before, before. So what happens
my
is that
God.
their math section, for instance, might be in the morning, right? And then now the people on the West Coast, they go on Reddit, they go on their phone. And they literally look up all the answers before they even take the question.
Because the people on the East Coast posted
They
it.
just post up, yo.
They post
yo,
it?
this is
Why
this
would people on the
happened.
East Coast post
Like
that?
what do they get out of it?
I don't know.
Just help out the fans.
It's just helping the fan. But that's what they do. They're like, yo, like this parabola is in here.
Oh,
so you gotta
yes.
look out for that. Or yo, this question's in it. Or this question's in it. The whole Reddit list form.
Damn.
They literally post that. And then now the kids in the West Coast during the lunch break, whatever, they're eating the granola bars. And they're in the bathroom. They're like looking at the questions. They're like, yo. This. But also now they got a whole form, they got a whole squad.
They got a whole
coming,
army out there.
Whole army, but also they got that, all that information. I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
So when the kids told me that, this was like a couple years ago too, like 4 or 5 years ago. And I'm like, dang.
Imagine now.
These guys are nuts. Now imagine now, they're like, they could be on another level too.
That's crazy.
Yeah, for real.
But I heard you don't even need SAT anymore.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Wait,
That's
didn't
true.
UCs just get rid of it?
Something like that.
That's what I'm saying. They soft. They soft, bro. Like, just take the damn SAT.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
it's
But they
okay.
took it away because like they're soft.
Oh, the people
Or like
Really?
they didn't
People
want
complaining.
people to compare the students on a standardized test.
Yeah.
Which is like
I get that. I see it, but at the same time,
but like it's the only way. It's like the best one
yeah,
of
I
the
think-
best
yeah,
ways
exactly.
to like
gauge.
yeah the whole like country
Yeah, exactly, 'cause-
on one test.
Right, my old Hagwon teacher said like, "Yo, I could be at a high school I could be like killing it. I could be
Yeah.
like 4.5, whatever, but I could at a different like, higher ed school, I could be like, oh, I'm at 3.6, whatever.
Yeah.
But if you do like standard like a test throughout, that could
Sets a precedent for
exactly,
everybody.
exactly. So
Yeah.
I think having an SAT or an ACT, I think that's just dope. But,
Yeah. So now my question would be, like, as things get softer and easier for this next generation, do you see like a drop off in quality of work? Or, like,
Yeah, that's a good
quality of,
question.
like products or like it's like services because like everything's so like as long as you think it's okay, then it's okay with me.
Oh, that's a good question.
Because back in the day, they would be like, "Yo, you didn't do this right, like fix it."
Yeah.
But I feel like now you do that, like you get blasted on like Twitter, be like, this customer service guy just like totally was so rude to me.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
never shop from like this place again.
Yeah.
This one guy was so rude, and that one guy obviously represents the whole organization. Blah, 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 you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I heard of a story where pretty much someone that I work with talking about like, hey, there's this at his previous company, this person's wife or something pretty much was trying to get customer service. The customer service was bad, and pretty much this person blasted the whole company on Twitter. That got a huge following on Twitter, and then that company like minutes after, like, hey, let me make it up to you, and blah 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 blah.
which is cool. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're like doing damage control.
Yeah.
But it's just like one incident out of a whole organization. Is that really necessary?
It's like the Delta things.
Oh,
Like,
the
when they're
airline.
like the race.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
dude. Tell
I
you,
don't
bro,
know.
people get soft.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of quality of work, I don't know, dude. That's a good question.
Because I feel like you need a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Like kind of like sternness to be on top of things, make sure things are getting done, and sometimes you gotta step on people's toes a little bit. But nowadays everyone's just like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to invade your that's your space, that's your area.
Yeah.
Like, there's no place for me in there. Like you just do you. Like this world.
I think another thing I want to maybe ask too is, of course, every person could get really comfortable. But what I'm saying, what I'm trying to think is, do you think these kind of habits will lead a generation to just fall into just straight being comfortable and being okay at where they're at? You know what I'm saying? Of course, like You know, even for me, I'm like really you know, sometimes I fall into the comfort of my own life. You know what I'm saying? Just do my own thing. But like, do you think these habits will gradually showcase, like, dude, like, you know, you're doing your own thing, I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm not, you know, like, I don't want to step onto your boundaries. I'm gonna just be comfortable. You know, I'm like, I don't want to do anything. Or like, I'm too like, I don't want to go out of my own way, or you know, I don't want to go into your circle or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, honestly, I think it's happening like right now. Like, I think it's just getting like increasingly worse. Like, everyone's like work ethic just seems to like just decreasing. And like, even when I was growing up, like when I like grew up in a hagwon because like my parents couldn't pick me up after school, so I just like
that's the real reason why.
Yeah, it's a daycare. It's a daycare. At least for Koreans. Yeah, but. Yeah, I remember like
the YMCA.
Okay. Yeah, I remember just like or not crying, but like whining and like, oh, I don't want to do my work and stuff. But I don't know. It's like still different from like the kids today because I worked at the Hagwon Joel works at for a little while. Shout out Inky, Mrs. Yo.
Shout out
Mrs. Yo. We blasting this?
No, shout out. She's
Thank you, Mrs. Yo.
You're dope.
She's the only.
She's a real one.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's like their attention span. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like it's not even like 5 seconds.
Wow.
They genuinely just can't sit down for more than 5 seconds.
Yeah, you say be quiet, and like they have to like utter a sound. Like you're like stop talking,
and then they're like okay, and then they go away. Like that's so unnecessary. Like, you have to do stuff like that.
Yeah,
they just can't.
Oh,
it's the
they
stress.
Yeah, and it's just like I think work ethic for like the upcoming generations is like, especially in America. I don't know if like in Korea, because I know like Koreans and just Asians in general, like their work ethic is crazy. Like Koreans
they just grind.
are known to be like grinders, like workaholics, super fast. Like if you go to like a restaurant and there's like the service is bad, like you're gonna get yelled at. But like in America, like people
ain't no
just
way
keep it in like
you can't yell at a waiter.
Yeah,
like they make a mistake, you like, excuse me, I think you messed up my order, and they're like scared to like offend the waiter, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's just culture too. But like America, it's just screwed. I think.
There's no hope.
Okay, but like maybe to like, you know, transition into like more like a positive note.
Yeah.
Like there's always those one or two kids.
Yeah.
Where you're like, dang, like you're a nugget. Like okay, like people like kids like you give me hope. Like there are a few of you who are like wise and can actually like carry yourself to a higher standard than like what the world expects of you, X, Y, and Z. So when I see those kids, like I get happy, but then there's so little of them. And I think that's what makes me like cherish them so much more, because like bro, like out of let's say like 100 150 kids, maybe like one or two it's like actually like quality. And like how much, like how far can those few like carry? You know what I'm saying?
They gotta go through middle school and then high school and then college.
And mind you, we're only addressing like elementary school kids,
like
right
Korean Americans.
Yeah.
Korean
American
kids.
kids.
I don't know about
like it's more worrying because they're Korean.
Yeah.
Like wouldn't their parents be like a little more strict, you know? Because like I don't know.
That's true. I feel like Korean parents have been getting a little looser these days. You know what I mean? Like it was the same when I was growing
no more memes?
Yeah, like actually.
No more 손들어?
Actually, like raise up your pants, I'm gonna slap your ankle or something. Like they don't have that anymore.
Oh yeah,
there's no physical.
Yeah.
Like punishments.
Because if a kid were to like go up to the school teacher and be like, my dad hit me. That's an instant like call the parents.
Child abuse.
Meeting, like
child
what's
abuse.
going on.
That's facts.
Like I remember one time. This is before like I was still pretty young. I had like I think I was probably like end of elementary, going into middle school, and I do not know back then. I didn't know anything about like race and like all the culture and all that. I had no idea. But then I remember end of 5th or 6th grade, I like hurt my neck or something or my shoulder, and then I did like the acupuncture thing where they like the cupping. So you know when you do the cupping, like there's like purple, like dark blue, red circles that appear. So I had that like on like my neck and shoulder area. And then I remember I was standing in line at Costco with my mom, and this older like pagan, this older woman taps my shoulder and she goes, "Is everything okay?"
Oh wow!
And I was like, "Yeah." Like,
oh wow!
So I was like, "Oh, what do you mean?" And then I was like,
Do you need help?
Everything's fine. And she's like, oh, are you sure? Like, is like everything at home okay? I was like, yes. Like, wow. I was so confused. And then like my mom saw me talking to her, and then my mom was like, what the heck? And then she took me away. And then like I got into the car, and then my mom was like, "Oh, it's probably because like she saw the mark and thought I was like hitting you."
Shoot.
But back then I didn't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
sure.
But looking back now and thinking about that story, I'm like, "Yo, that's so facts." Like,
right.
like she had good intentions, obviously. But then like, cause back then like that was like, Asians got hit. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's where she got that from. Yeah. But then like nowadays, like if there's even the tiniest like anything that seems off, like people will like jump to you and be like, are you okay? Yeah. Is everything which is a good thing. Yeah. It's
good. Props to that woman though.
Yeah. Like, she did nothing bad. Like, I'm saying like it's a good culture to have. Right. I'm saying like stuff like that. I'm not saying that makes people not soft because stuff like that's necessary. It's good to like call things out. But then like for like Korean parents and stuff like this, when like you kind of loosen the restraints, that's when kids kind of go loose and kind of go wild. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I think. Yeah, I'm for me, like now that I think about it now, it's like. It's like, like when I was a kid, I used to get like spanked a lot. Where we had like a fly swatter, potty check. Yeah. It's like doing the metal thing
at the handle.
The part. Coil, yeah. It's like, and I get whipped by that. I get slayed by that, and then but I remember like when I started growing up, I was like, and I was talking to some other folks, and some of the kids like, I was like, do you get hit? Like, nah, we get grounded. What's that? What's grounded?
No computer for like a few days.
Wi-Fi's down. Oh, Wi-Fi, no Wi-Fi for 1 hour.
You lose your phone privileges.
That's just different. You know what I'm saying?
And like those like TikTok memes where it's like you go to like your like white friends like I'll just sleep over, and then the white friend gets mad, and then he goes like Sally, I wanted pizza, not salad. Yeah. Call your mom. Like I'm telling you, it's different out here, especially for Korean Americans. Like we must have respect, no matter what. Yeah. But nowadays, I see a lot of little Korean kids talking back to their parents. And they don't get like hit for it.
Honestly, I think like parents are like, I don't know, because I'm not a parent, but like. Isn't it parenting like a big factor in like how they're like?
Oh yeah,
it is. But again, like it's like I heard so many stories about like how parenting is like there's so many different. There's like no exact rule of parenting. You know what I'm saying? There's like hey, follow these instructions and your kid is gonna be successful.
It's not like Legos,
Exactly.
Like, it's a kid.
Yeah. So like again, I'm no parent, but I just know it's hard though.
In fact,
I know. But the thing is, I know. Another thing too is that as kids change, as society has changed too with technology, parenting is different.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember my mom, she was talking to one of her friends who has kids who are younger, and then pretty much her friend was like, "Hey, how do you parent? How do you like raise your kids?" And she's like, "Oh, I did this." But and then she was like, "But the thing that I did, like a decade ago, 2 decades ago, whatever, you can't do it now."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's even facts. My brother always jokes around like, hey, Oma, could you raise my kids when we grow up? Like when I have kids, because my brother and I, we loved how how our parents raised us. And my brother was like, dude, like, Oma, could you could you raise our kids for us? And she's like, it's not the same. You know what I'm saying? Like that's so facts though. It's like it's not the same. Like that's the way she did things, it's not the same now because of so many different new things. Now the culturally society is so different now. And now it's just like the same plan doesn't work.
That's big facts.
Yeah. So.
There's something my freshman year, shout out Jake Aguas, my management class, like he broke down those generations you said, and then he kind of explained how the parenting style leads to how that generation becomes shaped. Ooh. Like for example, like let's say like the Great Depression era. Like obviously parents who grew up in that time, it was tough. Like they had to be tight with their money. Right. They couldn't be loose. Like they had to really be on top of things. Yeah. Therefore, it kind of like led to their parenting style being more strict, more on their kids, like helicopter parents, like tiger moms, all that, and that led to their kids being grown up and being raised in that kind of parenting style and environment. Right. So to them, they're like, "Yo, I'm not trying to raise my kids like this."
Yeah, that's a huge thing.
And then when those kids have kids now, like Great Depression era, like all that, those parents are now gone.
Yeah.
Now their kids are becoming parents in the 40s, 60s.
Right.
Now when those kids have kids, now it comes like the hippie movement.
Oh.
And like all those hippies, like they were doing drugs.
It's counterculture.
They were getting loose. Like they were getting, oh yeah, it's all good. Because their parents raised them hands off.
Right.
Because they didn't have that from their helicopter parents from the Great Depression.
Right.
So how like the parenting styles kind of turns into is what makes that next generation, like how it shapes them.
You know, it's now there's a huge thing in like of course like economics and like in politics. There's a thing, the idea where there's a huge pendulum. It keeps swinging back and forth. Do you think it's gonna swing back and forth? You know what I'm saying? What I mean by that is that you know there's a point where like it was really crazy, like, you know, like helicopter, very Tiger Mom, whatever, and then now it went to like very like loose and hippie movement, and I don't know where it's at right now. Do you think it's gonna swing back and forth?
Honestly,
You know what I'm
you can touch on it if you want.
What do you guys think?
Honestly, in the future, I think there's gonna be so many more problems, like just like environmental wise, like just like economically, like it's just like inflation, you know?
Yeah.
Inflation.
$8 gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's gonna be so many like more issues arising like in the future because like of how we're like dealing with like everything right now.
Yeah.
So I think parenting will get stricter like then, but right now I think it's definitely like loose because like
I would say as you know the thankful part about being like on the latter end of history is you can obviously learn from people that came before you. And seeing how everything is now, one, like we're very blessed to kind of had a couple generations go through those various extremes. So we kind of can tell what it may be like, and I feel like right now we're at a point where we're kind of navigating that middle space of like, oh fudge, I'm not trying to like be a tiger mom, but at the same time I'm not trying to be like loose where my kids just be like you know, popping pills every day and like just getting lit. And like Eric mentioned, like there's so many more problems that's gonna come.
Of course.
Like constantly. So it's with those problems while trying to be in that middle ground of not being so crazy one end or vice versa, and trying to raise your kids in that sense. And I think that low key may be more difficult because it's like so like unknown, and anything could kind of go anywhere in the next like few years. Because obviously like technology is getting better, like more research is coming out, so there's more like tools and resources for parents to go to. And more choices sometimes may be harder than when there's less. I know I get overwhelmed when I go to an ice cream shop.
Oh yeah.
And there's like 50 flavors. But you know, let's say I go to like another ice cream shop and they got 3. Like sometimes I prefer that one.
That's like In-N-Out. That's why In-N-Out is popping.
Facts.
Yeah, actually. That's like a huge psychological thing.
Gotta keep it simple.
Anyways.
But yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. It's next generation. And this is once again just elementary school kids.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't even get to like these middle school, high school kids.
Yeah. I'm no expert in kids, but
it's just obviously like it's from our lens. Our perspective.
It's more like Korean American focused.
Yeah, right? Korean American, post grad.
Yeah.
Early 20s. What do we know?
Yeah, what do we know?
It's just our opinion.
We're kids too, man. We're kids.
Like we're still navigating everything. Like I'm pretty sure we're still like very foolish.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about middle school and high school? Because like the only experiences I have with them is like social media. It's like what I see like on social media that they post. Like, on TikTok or like Instagram, and I see like middle school or high school.
Some of the things they post is questionable. Like how they gonna get jobs? Like I worry.
Why? Wait.
They just be posting crazy stupid stuff.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Like you think they're like 18, but they're like 14 or something.
Yeah.
Like
dang.
Also, there's one thing where it's like, it's either kids are so insecure and self-conscious nowadays, like middle school, high school kids, or they just don't give a F about anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like they'll just like they'll just say anything, post anything,
they'll do anything. Yeah.
They don't give a F.
Yeah.
And honestly, like what respect, like you know, you like you don't care what people think, but at the same time, like they've been doing some foolish stuff out there. And on the other hand, there's kids who are like so shy and timid because of like obviously social media pressure, like presenting yourself in a way that's like people would like. But those are just two extremes that I've noticed within like teenagers, middle school, high school kids these days.
Yeah, you know, one thing I realize is that because I guess I work with high school kids, and I think one thing is, I feel like slowly but surely kids are getting a lot more like shy or like I don't know. I feel like
They don't have social skills.
yeah, that's a huge thing.
Also because COVID too.
COVID, but
yeah.
also I think there's just like what I would say is like they're like the screen generation. They're being the
Yeah.
screen generation. You know what I'm saying?
They
Like,
hang out like through games.
Yeah. Which is totally you know which I don't mind too. But the thing is for me I didn't grow up with that. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is if that's the whole life, and they're like, hey dude, like. If they're like playing games, like, dude, you suck, and like, you know,
Get on, bro.
Yeah, or like, you know, or like, oh, you blah blah blah, like, and then if you're trying to pick a fight like on the game, but in real life,
You wouldn't say anything.
You wouldn't say anything. They say it to my face,
yeah.
kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
And then it's just like it's just different, you know. But also, I think going to like social cues, social skills too. It's just like they don't have to interact in real life.
Yeah.
So that's sort of like awkward. Like, hey, you know, hey, like whatever. And
The
just, like,
art of Dunchi is like disappearing.
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you know that's where the touch grass meme came out of. You know, touch
Oh,
grass.
like go outside and touch some grass.
Yeah, like,
oh
people,
my!
like-
I heard that on Friday.
Be a boomer, bro.
Hey.
Actually a boomer.
Wait, I actually don't know a lot of things.
That was like kind of during COVID because like everyone was like online. And people would be like on Twitter or like you're playing a game like bro touch grass, which means like go outside. You
I
know?
had no idea what that meant. 'Cause
Yeah.
Touch grass.
Not gonna on Friday on a Friday night, someone said that. I was like, what does that mean? and then some of the other guys are laughing. They're like, oh my god, what does that mean? I was like, okay. I thought it literally meant to like.
touch it.
grass.
Yeah, like literally
For
go
no
outside
reason.
and be more environmental or something like that.
Be green.
Yeah, be green. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I heard that. That's my first time hearing that on
Yeah.
Friday. Oh, that's what it meant.
There's a lot of like
New
go
slang.
outside, bro. Like you know,
Yeah.
like people just like.
That's so sad.
Yeah, go touch grass.
That's so sad.
I feel like we had such a good balance because like
No, for sure.
we
Yeah.
had like DSs, like we
Yeah.
didn't have phones, touchscreens. Like
Yeah.
it was perfect for me at least.
Yeah,
like,
because DS, you're not connected to the world.
Right.
You're just within
It's
that
just
device.
you and-
Yeah, when
You
you're
and
just in
the
your car,
Pokemon
just playing.
world,
Yeah. No, I think that's huge. I think for me, I grew up playing outside, going to my
Yeah.
neighbor's house, like, yo, Nico, let's go
Yeah.
play.
Yeah,
Nico, yo, we go ride bikes. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like, and then later on, you know, that's when the games started coming, like with
Yeah.
the GameCube, the
Yeah.
Nintendo Wii, whatever, all that.
Yeah.
And then that's when I started playing. I mean, I wasn't a big gamer, but like,
Yeah.
that's when you know things went more inside.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's a point where. My when I used to play outside so much, my mom would like come back inside.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
it's dinner time.
No, it's
Sun's
dinner
going
time.
down.
Like I'd be out from like 9 a.m. to like 6 p.m. just playing outside.
That's
Yeah.
facts.
Going to the park.
Yeah.
You know, running around the streets, playing basketball,
like,
whatever.
dirty.
Exactly.
Get home from
your
school.
hands like black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you shower and then you like eat dinner and
Yeah.
then
And you're like sweaty or whatever.
Yeah.
But now it's just like that's interesting how go outside.
Yeah.
I actually haven't heard of that yet,
Yeah.
but that's
They
interesting.
like make fun of them by saying like, "Dude, go outside."
Go touch some grass.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Dude, going outside was lit.
Dude, that was like my
That's so much
dream.
fun. Like
Yeah.
playing cops and robbers outside.
Dude.
And now I think about it, I ain't never seen kids outside anymore.
I know.
Like,
That's actually so true.
yeah, like neighborhoods and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I grew up in Virginia, so it's a lot of like, it's very like naturey.
Uh-huh.
And like grass everywhere.
Yeah.
I know Cali, it's not as much like, besides
Yeah.
like parks.
Yeah,
But
for
like,
sure.
in Virginia, like your backyard is literally like you can just play anywhere, like your neighborhood, like your cul-de-sac.
Mm-hmm.
And every neighborhood you would go to drive by, it's always kids playing out there.
Oh wow.
Like you would just see their bikes in the middle of the street. You'll see balls rolling around
Yeah.
everywhere. Like that's just common.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, like I don't see that anywhere.
That's actually so
I
true.
don't see that anywhere nowadays.
Yeah, I think that's sad.
You know, there was I don't know if they had those in California.
The yellow signs?
No, not the other
never
side.
mind.
It's like those like electrical boxes that out in the middle of nowhere, or like in neighborhoods. And then they would like
Is it the green
ones?
ones?
yeah, the green ones.
Yeah, of
those
course.
green
Yeah,
boxes.
yeah.
Like, that's where you like sit and like,
Yeah.
and like talk and like walk and sit around.
You know the sprinklers?
Yeah.
You know the sprinkler box? You open it up, there's a whole bunch of worms.
Yeah.
I used to play around with that.
That's big facts. Yeah,
Oh.
kids just don't go outside anymore.
That's actually, yeah.
They're outside is like the Fortnite battle royale. Like
Yeah.
that green is like all day till
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah, another thing too that I see a lot is kids with iPads.
Oh.
No, they give you a school iPad.
What?
Oh,
They
yeah.
do homework on the
iPad?
Yeah.
I remember.
So
That's
yeah.
fine. All elementary schools they give their kids iPads.
Really?
So when they do math, they don't show their work. They're just like,
Yeah, they go like
No more paper?
Yeah,
no
they
more
just-
paper.
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, they have like worksheets, but it's
Yeah,
like,
but
very
no more
minimal.
line,
It's like half and
college
half.
ruled
Yeah.
paper.
Yeah.
Wide rules. for
Wide
elementary
rule.
schools.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then like middle school, high school kids will get like MacBooks.
Oh dang!
Or like Chromebooks.
Yeah,
Chromebooks
Chromebooks.
for like the not as like funded education places.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but these kids, they get access to all these devices and.
But what about the iPads?
Oh no, just like I know that's a whole thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
I know. Again, I'm no parent, but I know like I know there's a huge problem where like people there's like a debate like where people like if your kid's crying, right? If your kid is like I don't know like 5, 6, 7 years old, he or she is crying, like. Some parents, in order for them to shut them up, or just give them my iPad, they would just watch what's that? Coco Melon. The Coco Melon. You know what I'm saying?
You go to like any like restaurant.
Yeah.
You got the parents eating, and you got the kids on the high chair next to them.
Yeah.
And their foods are here, but they're just like this, like watching it.
Yeah.
And then like eating like this.
Exactly. Yeah, the iPad. Yeah, I think that's a crazy thing too.
Man, back in the day, we had those like those leapfrog.
Yeah.
Those
I didn't even have that. My parents didn't even get me that.
Where you can like draw on it.
Oh, you see?
Oh.
The sketchbooks thing.
It's connected. Yeah, those are our iPads.
Etch Sketch.
Yeah, Etch a Sketch.
Yeah. And then so I was thinking, I was like, dude, like, even did you guys learn cursive?
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if kids learn it these
That's
days,
true. I had a fat cursive phase.
Dude, me too.
They made us write cursive.
In third grade,
Third grade. It's always third grade.
You're forced to write in cursive.
I'd always get messed up with the M's and the N's.
Oh yeah.
Because there's an extra hill.
Yeah, the bunny hills. Yeah.
And like the G was like a.
Yeah.
F cursive. Who the heck is cursive?
The F was weird. You know the all that.
Yeah, but who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
This generation, it always gotta end. But I don't know. I don't know though.
Yeah, but that's the thing. On another note too, because I know, a lot of older people. They're like, dude, honestly, this generation of kids like have it tough. They have it hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course we can be like bash on, but also they gotta. Of course, you just said they were born into this. They didn't get to choose. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts.
They can be like, yo, I'm gonna choose this generation. I'm gonna choose this one. You know, they were born into it. You know, so they have to live. They have to. You know, again, this is all they know.
Yeah.
So
I think as like older people, like yes, we can obviously like, you know, analyze and like pick apart like what they're doing right or wrong, X, Y, and Z. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's not their fault. Like, it's what they know.
Yeah.
We can't expect them to be somebody they're not because they don't have any experience or exposure to those kind of things.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you just gotta like meet them where they're at.
Yeah, of course.
And like we can't expect how we want things to go for them to happen because it's not our lives. It's their lives. I remember Elon Musk, he was like, I think it was Elon Musk, it's not on Twitter. He was like my kids like obviously didn't choose to be born. I chose them.
Oh yeah.
So like I therefore have the responsibility to like make sure of their well-being and their life is like well taken care of. Cause like
it's always the parents' fault.
Yeah. Like it's not like the kids like was like, yo, you trying to have me like, let me come out. You know, like, it was a conscious decision.
Right. That's
the
true.
Parents made to bring life into this world.
Wow, that's
and
actually
if the
true.
parent like at the end of the day like. As I don't want to like obviously as a child we have a responsibility to take care of our parents, respect them, of course. But at the same time, they had us.
Yeah.
We have no choice but to come out.
Yeah.
Like, they're the ones that decided.
It's not it's not their fault.
Yeah. It's like, and that's why at the same time it's like it's always a two-way street.
Yeah.
Just meet them where they're at.
Yeah, and that's true.
Yeah.
I was thinking about another thing too. Like I know there's like a whole generation now where again, my family at my house, like my parents, they straight from Korea, and I was born here. So luckily I was born here. But the thing is, I grew up in a family where it's very Korean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now our generation, but also like me or when I have kids, my kids are gonna have parents who speak English and all that, who know the American culture and all that.
Yeah.
And that's a whole new level too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I remember when I saw like my Korean friends.
Yeah.
My Korean friends who had parents who could speak English.
Oof.
That was a different level.
It's like
whoa.
Not gonna lie, that's a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? That's like, dang, you're like Like you like the white, like what you like the pagan families too, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang, like
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to be like, dude, that must be nice.
Yeah, I used to always get jealous.
Yeah.
Of those kids.
I was kind of glad my parents weren't that good at English.
Really?
It's like, I just thought about it, and then I was like, wait, if they like knew English that well, like they would care about like my school, and like if I got in trouble,
dude,
like,
actually,
you know, like
Yeah.
like they don't understand, like they don't care about a lot of things because they don't like
Understand it.
That's it. Yeah.
So
that's a huge
I was
thing.
like, I was grateful.
I see.
That, like,
That's a good
That's
perspective.
perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me it was because the more of the person who was actually like really watching over me was like my brother. 'Cause he was the one who went before me and did all that. My parents, they didn't know what was happening during high school. They didn't even know like my GPA and all that.
Yeah.
But it was like more of my brother who was like sort of like, hey, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. You know what I'm saying? But even before that, my brother didn't. He had to do everything on his own.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He had to learn everything on his own, and that's just how it was, you know.
Yeah.
And I know I always have conversations with my mom about that, like how my parents feel so bad about my brother.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's doing well.
Yeah.
But now I remember when I was a kid, I remember when I went to like one of my friend's house who's not Asian and I'm Korean, and his family was all they all speak English
And wearing shoes in the house and
yeah.
stuff.
They're like I saw like I remember vividly seeing a moment where the mom was helping like my friend doing his homework.
Ow.
And then I remember when I was a kid, dude. I still remember that. And I remember I told my mom like, dude, I wish you were better at English. And then that got her sad. And I remember that I was like, dude, I shouldn't have said that. Of course, as a kid.
Yeah.
But that I think marked her to this day where she's trying to learn English. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, dude, that's just tough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a whole other thing of generation too. Like those kids who straight up grew up in an Asian household, but also just Korean culture versus like a Korean American household.
Yeah.
And that's different too.
With that, there's something that I've been like kind of thinking about recently too. Like as I've been getting older and like my brothers are getting older and I think about my parents, like I think it's a tweet I saw too, but it's like our parents had like whole lives before we were born.
Right.
And I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, bro, like they went to college, like they had friends. Like they did everything I'm doing right now. But that all I know is like them being my parents.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes I kind of take away that part of their life.
Right.
Like I just think like, oh man, like they don't know anything. Like they're just my parents. Like I know so much more because I live in America and they didn't grow up here. And that's just me being ignorant because like I'm not like respecting them in that sense. But when I thought about it, I was like, man, like dude, they probably have they do have so much more experience. Like they
facts.
And their experience is probably crazier because they freaking moved across the whole globe to like start a new life.
Yeah.
And I always like I have to like consciously make an effort to always keep that in mind. Like, yo, like they came here with nothing.
Right.
And at the same like they had whole life before me and they dropped everything like for me and my brothers.
Yeah.
It's just
I think
crazy to think about.
I guess the last point I wanted to make too is like after graduating, after like working, my appreciation toward my parents and then my relationship toward my parents like just went up like crazy. It's because like after working and after like all of that, I'm like thinking like I'm so fortunate to have like a really really stable job and like a job that I love.
Yeah.
But me thinking about like my mom, who only graduated high school, didn't go to college, and just my whole family just moved in Korea. But think about it, my mom always said, Brandon, think about you going to like Mexico, knowing none of the language, you trying to live there. I'm like, dang,
That's facts.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
like a family.
Yeah, exactly. Like you trying to carry your whole family, knowing none of the language, trying to figure things out at a foreign country. I'm like, dang,
wild.
that's
It's
respect.
wild.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then of course, like you don't have a job, you don't know what's gonna look like, you don't know what you're gonna do the next day, you don't know how you're gonna pay rent for the next month, and I'm like, dang, and so after I started working and after making income, like to be able to realize that and really see like, dude, my parents being able to do that, dude, shout out to all the family, bro.
Actually,
shout out to all the parents, bro. And
word,
yeah, for real. And that's so amazing, I know some parents they come, they open up like laundromats, open up restaurants. Unfortunately, that's so sad how like in COVID that it went down. But like they work there, they work so hard and all that just to bring a better life for not themselves,
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
So selfless.
Dude, if they were doing they would stay in Korea and then they would just do their own thing in Korea, whatever. But they're doing it for the kids.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang. That's respect, dude.
That's major respect. So honestly, such a like. As much as I would get jealous of like my Korean friends who have like pretty like Americanized parents and stuff, like that'd be so dope to like talk to my parents on a daily basis in like a very like intimate way, or like go on like family vacation like a lot, and like like road like all this like things that like when there's like that language barrier, it's so easy to 100% be so close. 100%. Although like that, I was jealous of that, but after you're sharing too, like. There's a whole another set of advantages in and of itself,
right? Of
having that background of being like immigrant families, and your parents working so hard,
right?
And sometimes like as cliche as it is, but like the struggle is like what makes you pretty much.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm not saying like those like very like Americanized families don't have struggles. Of course they do. I'm just saying like it's a different struggle for like
for sure
immigrant families, and that brings up like different like character that gets built within their kids and like the way they carry themselves. Like I know for a fact the way like Korean American immigrant kids carry themselves is very different from like kids where their parents came.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
100%.
1900s.
Yeah.
It's very different.
Yeah.
So honestly, like, as much as it'd be dope to like be in the other positions, like I'm thankful to be where I am now.
Yeah. Another thing too, if I could add, is like I remember I had a conversation with my mom last week about like. I just had a conversation with my mom about like just like her like just family stuff, and then it led to a conversation about like how my mom just felt bad, like you know what I'm saying, like my mom was like, dang, I wish I was better at English, and I was like getting emotional. I was like, dude, like I was telling my mom, dude, like, chill, like, you don't need to. I know, but it's just like more on the side that she's like, I wish I could have done better and all that, and then I wish like. All of that, X, Y, and Z, But I was saying like it's okay. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like what could you like? You can't go back in time, but you got. I think for me the biggest thing that I could say is that the one mentality I always carry because of my family is I always have an underdog mentality. I'm always think I'm an underdog. Yeah. Because it's like, and then I always tell my parents, I always tell my mom, I always like really affirm, I'm like. Yo, I'm like because of you, like we have our generation set up now. Yeah. Because of my
the
parents,
OG founder.
For real, they're the OGs because they're like they helped raise it, and then as long as my brother and I, we do well. As we keep growing and all. Yeah. Like it's like it's because of my parents and their hard work that really started the lineage. My brother and I we always say tell my parents and tell my mom like, hey, like it's because of you guys that. We have this set up now.
That ROI goes crazy.
Now it's a generational like path that it's because of like the sacrifice of one generation though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, dang dude.
It takes crazy. Taking a whole generation.
Yeah. That's crazy though.
Just carried multiple generations on
for real.
Back.
Yeah.
It's not just one. Yeah. It's like
dude, props to all the moms, dads, all the grandparents.
Yeah, they're the freaking LeBrons, bro.
Dude, LeBron.
You know what I'm saying? Or like LeBron's mom. You know what I'm saying? Like they're the LeBron's mom, and we're the LeBrons now.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, it's actual facts.
You need that Mama James.
Yeah.
The Donda.
The Donda. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Generation. I think that's a good topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, as much as we clowned these elementary school kids,
heartfelt,
and their parents,
and their parents, all love, it's all love,
all respect, to parents. I'm sure, dude. If we're parents one day, we do this podcast, keep going. We'll talk about that. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
We'll have our kids like laying right here,
we'll cradling.
Yeah, it's like, hey yo, this mini Joel. But yeah, honestly, the future, whatever happens. Yeah, like it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think a huge thing is as long as you keep learning. Yeah, that's a huge thing.
Never want to be stuck in the same place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about in terms of generation?
No.
Dang, at this point we could be we're experts in generation.
Heck yeah, we are. Analysis. That probably 45-minute podcast right there. Yeah. Solid. All right, well, I guess we'll wrap it up here for this episode.
Yeah.
Let us know what you want us to dissect and dive into for any next podcasts. Like we always do, what song should we end it off on tonight for today's episode?
Generational song.
What's a generational song?
You know what I think? They're dancing generations.
By Matt Redman.
What's the one of the yeah? I don't know.
Girls' generation.
Girls' generation.
소녀시대? SNSD?
Sure.
What SNSD song?
Na 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 na
Na,
na. I don't know that one. I don't know the title.
I'll find it.
Okay.
That's the one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright.
Lock it in.
소녀시대 it is.
Okay.
Alright, next generation. The world is in,
It's in your hands.
coming from a 21-year-old.
Yeah, I know.
The world is in your hands. Speaking to myself, but that's it. We'll clap it up.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Alright.